Captain Keith here with MarineMax. Today I'm going to show you the proper way of tying your line to a dock if you're using the line that has the loop in the end. There is actually a wrong way and a right way. Your tendency may be, if you're standing inside the boat, to let this go down through the horns, pull up, and then when you secure this to the dock, if you need to get off the dock quickly, you're not going to be able to release this. So you always want to go from the bottom outside up, pull it over the horns, pull it down, then secure it to your dock. Then you'll be able to grab this to safely undo it and be on your way. Earlier I'd shown you all a proper way of tying the boat if you had the loop on the end of your line. That's not always going to be the case. Sometimes you're going to have the bitter end. In order to properly do this, you want to take the line the longest way around the cleat up underneath, go wrap around both sides, do half a figure 8, and then the tricky part is here, you just want to lay these two lines parallel on top of the cleat. So all you have to do is you're going to have a loop on this end, roll it, pull up, and secure it down like that. You got the two lines parallel with this. So if you look, you got a line going this way, 1, 2, 3. Hey there, Captain Keith here with MarineMax. Today I'm going to give you a few tips on how to read channel markers and what they mean, and a couple different types of rules. First off, you're going to notice the red marker here is a triangle with an even number in it. The green's going to be square with an odd number in it. Many of you may have heard red right return. Well, what does that really mean? If you're out, let's say, in the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic Ocean, and you're coming back in towards the intercoastal waterway, you're returning from a bigger body of water to a smaller body of water. In that case, the red markers will be on your right side as you're returning back into shore. If you're going into a marina, you're pulling off the intercoastal waterway and you're going back to a marina. Once again, big to small, red's on the right, returning. The channel markers aren't going to move. So when you're leaving, the reds will be on your left, the greens are going to be on your right going out. As you go up further towards a marina, or you're coming in off the Gulf or the Atlantic, the numbers are going to go in ascending order. The 1 and 2 are going to be out towards a safe water mark or out at the end of the channel. It might be 45, 46, 47, 48, depending on how far up a channel you're going. Vice versa, when you're going out, once you get out to number 1 and number 2, you know you're out at the end. Then you go, okay, so now I'm into the intercoastal waterway. Now which side do I keep my reds on? Which side do I keep my greens on? It's very simple. There will be a yellow triangle above the number or a yellow square above the number. These are your intercoastal waterway symbols. You want to keep these triangles, the yellow triangles, to the continental land, USA land side. So if you're in New England and you're going down to Key West and there was an imaginary intercoastal waterway that ran that whole way, these yellow triangles are going to be on the right-hand side, on the starboard side of your boat as you're heading down the coast. You make it to Key West, now you're turning up, you're coming up the Gulf and you're going around to Texas. These yellow triangles are still going to be on your starboard side. USA is on your right, the Gulf of Mexico is on your left. 99% of the time, the yellow triangles are going to be inside these red squares. The yellow squares will be inside the green ones. They can use other markers, other items to distinguish the intercoastal waterway. So they may stick this on something else, but what you're looking for is the yellow symbols, the yellow triangles, the yellow squares. Triangles on the land side, the squares towards the water. If they're blank like this, it's red right return, going from big to small. It's as easy as that. I hope this helped clarify any questions you had about navigating the intercoastal waterway and or the red right return rules. But in a nutshell, as Alan Jackson and Jimmy Buffett say, keep it between the markers. If you've got any questions or would like any further tips, you can visit one of your local MarineMax stores or visit us online at MarineMax.com. It's Captain Keith with MarineMax, and we're back with some more boating tips. Today I'd like to show you one of the most useful knots you can use on the water or on land. It's called a bowline. Knot's very easy to tie. You can always untie it. It's not going to bind up on you. You don't have to worry about tying a bunch of granny knots and crossing your fingers and hoping something that will stay together. So the hardest part of this is getting the loop done correctly. So I just take the end of the line in my left hand, grab a foot or two down the line, swing your hand around like this so that you're going to get a loop so it comes around on top. Then all you have to do is take this up from the bottom of the hole, around the part that's hanging down, and stick it right back in that hole and cinch that all up. There's a little story about the rabbit comes up out of his hole and runs around the tree and all that. So here it is. Swing this around, get your rabbit hole. This is the tree, there's your rabbit. The rabbit comes up out of the hole, wanders back around straight down towards you, wanders behind the tree, something scares the rabbit, jumps back in his rabbit hole. And that's it. You've got it right there. No matter how hard you pull on this, you can just bend it in the back side here right in half and it comes right apart. Once again, swing this around to get your loop on top, up, behind, in, done. Okay, so in a real life practical application, let's say we need to tie this line to this railing. Just slide your rope or your line through, make your loop, up, behind, back in, pull on the long part, and that bowline is locked on there. It won't slip, come untied. That, all you have to do is kind of bend it, and she's going to fall right apart.